Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. My name is Jared. In this video, I want to talk about aliens. Here's my lawn. When the grass started growing back this year, it was like nothing but weeds. And so we had to get, one of those things that you attach to the hose that kills weeds, and it did the job. I wish it was, I wish the grass was fuller, but that's okay. So, I don't need to tell you, aliens have been in the news, UFOs or UAPs, whatever you want to call them. They've been in the news a lot the last couple years, and this year especially. And I'm trying to figure out why. And I would love to hear, what is that? Gross. I'd love to hear your opinion. There's my chickens. Some of them anyway. I don't really know. Some people say that it's because it's supposed to be a distraction. I don't know, a distraction from political things, a distraction from, I don't know. I don't know if that's what it is. I really don't know what to think. You fatties ready for some food? I saw an article, I think it was yesterday, that was talking about, and this was like because these news outlets are talking about UFOs in a serious way. And this article was talking about, well, some people think that it's an ancient civilization that's been here on Earth and they're just starting to show themselves. And instantly, that made me think about the 10 Lost Tribe theory. There's some people in our church, including some of you, that think that the 10 Lost Tribes are technologically advanced, that they've left Earth, or maybe they're here and it's actually a hollow Earth or a flat Earth, and they're beyond Antarctica if it's flat Earth, or they're inside the Earth if it's a hollow Earth. I don't subscribe to the 10 Lost Tribe idea that they're in a main body hidden somewhere. And I have a playlist that explains why. It's based on all the quotes I've been able to find from general authorities. And it seems pretty clear to me anyway, and not all of you agree. It seems pretty clear that in the early church, that is what they believed. But that sometime after the 1950s, it seems like that opinion changed. And again, I'm not basing this off of my own opinion. I'm collecting all the different quotes that I can find, and I've charted them out. I've put them into a timeline, and there's a distinct difference between when they were talking about the 10 Lost Tribes as a main group, and then when they seem to have adopted the idea that the 10 Lost Tribes are simply scattered throughout the world, but primarily in the European countries north of Israel. So that's not what this video is about. But, if that's true, I'm not going to be so bold as to say that it's not true. Maybe it is. I tend not to think that general authorities are typically wrong. I do think that the further back you go, the less of an understanding we have of different doctrines until more doctrine comes along, more revelation, more inspiration, line upon line, precept upon precept. So if there's some kind of disagreement between general authorities, I tend to look at that first, the time in which they make their statements, and accounting for the fact that things get revealed little by little, and at first we may not have a full understanding of things. So I put the chances of these UFOs being the 10 lost tribes very low. Very low. That brown one right there, he's a Holstein Jersey cross. He's the more dominant one. And then this darker one is a Angus Holstein cross. And I'm very disappointed at how small they are and how not fat they are. We've been trying, getting them grains and trying to feed them right. And they have this entire pasture all to themselves. There's plenty of grass. There's plenty of it. So I don't know what we got to do. I know there's some other things that we could get them, like corn silage. I'm not exactly sure how we would go about getting that, because we don't have like a truck or anything like that. And I don't know where I could even get it. I know there's other things like these like molasses tubs that they can lick on. They can lick, and there's like different things. I know there's like alfalfa, so we're gonna keep looking at different solutions, but I really need them to get more weight. So anyway, so I don't tend to think that it's the 10 lost tribes that we're seeing. I do tend to think that it's real, that it's not just fake, it's not just like a hoax. But that's because of my lifelong history just watching things about UFOs, and I feel like I've seen enough to say that it is real, although I don't know what it is. And at first I used to think, yeah, it's aliens. Of course it's aliens. Our church believes that there's aliens, that our Father in heaven has many worlds, and on those worlds are more of our brothers and sisters, and so maybe it's just them. Maybe they're allowed to, maybe they can visit, Here on Earth, there's never been a time when a people has been isolated and you're not allowed to visit them. We were allowed to go explore all the islands of the sea, speaking from like a European point of view. All the different civilizations coming across the Atlantic Ocean to the Americas. So I would figure that it'd be the same thing with space travel, But since that time, I just feel like I'm not so sure that it is extraterrestrials that are coming here. And I have some other ideas. So for one, it could just be, like they've talked about and they worry about, maybe some nation has advanced in their technology. So, is it the Chinese? I don't know. Is it the Russians? I don't think so. Because I figure that if they were able to create those kind of spacecraft or aircraft, that they probably wouldn't be doing so bad in Ukraine, but I don't know. I tend not to think that that's it. However, could Satan be involved? Because I do believe that Satan has actual physical power here on Earth thanks to secret combinations. By the way, here's the garage. It's a lot cleaner now than the last time I did a video about it. Now we just have to kind of like organize the big things and move stuff around. But if you saw those videos, here's the update. We've been able to clear it up for the most part. And in here is where we're keeping the pullets. A pullet is a female chicken that hasn't started laying yet. And we're keeping them in here until they get bigger, because we lost one to a raccoon, because the door to our chicken coop that we let them out from, the chicken door, there's like a little crack, and I guess the crack is big enough for a raccoon to reach in there and grab one of these guys out. So we're just gonna let them get bigger in here, and then introduce them to our flock. So we got a barred rock. These two white ones are white leghorns. This one's a lavender Orpington, and supposedly that one's a silver-laced Wyandotte, but I don't think so. That's what the lady said. That's not what they look like. I can't remember if we had a silver-laced Wyandotte at one point that we started out as a chick, but it looks more like a sapphire gem to me. That's totally what it looks like to me, but I don't know. Maybe it is a silver-laced Wyandotte. They're on one of my army bags. So, could these be, I don't think we know the extent of Satan's power here on Earth, his like physical power. We do know that he operates through secret combinations, which are mortals here on Earth that do have actual power. So, and I don't know how much Satan knows as far as like scientific knowledge. If he's able to like tell them, once we as a human species get to a certain point technologically, maybe at that point he can introduce more technology, because as far as I know, the veil hasn't come over him, and I don't know how intelligent we were before this life, and presumably how much he knows right now. But what if him through his human agents and organizations, what if he's able to instruct them and give them technology and knowledge, kind of like Prometheus. Here, I need to get out of here. I just got a message on the phone that says that it's getting hot. Too hot for the phone. Got up to 106 today. Well, got to clean up this area too. Whatever. So could that be what it is? And if so, what exactly is he doing with these kind of these vehicles? I don't know. We also know that he and his followers, they can possess human bodies. And I think there's plenty of dummies out there that are willing to let them do that as part of a deal. I let you use my body and then you make me rich, or you make me powerful, or whatever. Or, you stick with my family and we'll have kind of like a dynasty and you can be our whatever. So I don't know if something like that's going on, but it really is weird. The thing that stands out to me is that they're making a big deal about it right now. And I feel like I can say for sure this is not a new thing. This has been going on for a long time. At least since like as far as like the United States and American history, it seems like it's been around since, the 1940s. Well, that's kind of a tricky one, because you have different accounts of strange things happening. For example, Columbus and his logs, I know that they noted strange lights in the ocean. So I guess it depends on how far back you want to go. But as far as like it becoming like a mainstream type idea, or talked about a lot, I would say since like the 40s, I guess. And so why now? So why is it happening now? I have another theory, and that theory is that it is a secret combination type plot under the influence of Satan. I've kind of talked about this before, how we know that when the millennium is ushered in, he's no longer going to have power. He's going to be bound. And he's going to be bound because the only people that are left are going to be people that don't really pay him much attention anyway. You're not going to have people that have been... you're not going to have celestial people around, essentially. You have to at least be living a terrestrial lifestyle or above to move on into the millennium. So, if you're Satan and you want to, cause problems, like is what he does, and implement as much or introduce as much damage and chaos as you can moving into the millennium, well, maybe you would try and cast doubt about Christ. And if you get this narrative going enough, where you're starting to get most of the population on Earth believing in aliens, then when Christ comes and he becomes king of the earth, maybe a lot of people are going to fear that he's an alien, and there's nothing that, and I guess technically he would be, but not really, because he's from here. But maybe he's trying to introduce doubt in those that remain. Try to introduce as much distrust and fear about the new world, and the new order. That's going to be the actual new world order, is when Christ comes and he's king. So I feel like that's a pretty good theory. It could be a combination of a bunch of different things. I don't know. Let's go over here. I used to think that maybe it could be people from the city of Enoch that are visiting the earth. Maybe they're doing things here. The only thing about that, though, is I used to think that the city of Enoch, that, they were translated, and they've been in a translated state since they left. But we studied that. I did a video about it. Girls, this soda can right here. Did a video about it, and it turns out that everyone that was translated before Christ, they were translated because they needed to be for various reasons. But once Christ came, they became resurrected, including the city of Enoch. So they are no longer translated. They're resurrected beings. Now, it doesn't seem, based on all of our scriptural accounts and things that Joseph Smith witnessed, it doesn't seem like they need craft to get around, or at least there's no account of that. But if that's how things actually work, even though you're resurrected, how have a glorified body, maybe you still do get around by some kind of craft, some kind of vehicle. Maybe not. Maybe you do just transport and you move at the speed of thought. I don't know. I've pointed out how at the Kirtland Temple, when Christ appeared, he appeared with a piece of workmanship under his feet, some kind of platform that I think it appeared as though it was made of gold. So, I don't know. Why did he need that for? What did it do? Was it just for looks? Did it have a function? I just did a video recently about heavenly devices like the Urim and Thummim, the Liahona, So it seems like there is some evidence that the Lord works through some kind of advanced technology. Or in other words, it's not just all magic. It's not all just supernatural. It's like beyond us and maybe appears supernatural, but really it's some kind of heavenly technology. Even the fact that the earth, when it becomes celestialized, is going to become a giant Urim and Thummim, and we're all going to have a white stone, seems to suggest that this is like technology that's being used. So I really don't know what to think. You know, I don't know what to think. So some of these things, they could be Satan, they could be heavenly beings, and maybe that's why nobody wants to talk about them until now. Maybe it's because, well, there are no aliens coming to Earth. Those are angels, they're demons, they're secret aircraft, so we're just not going to talk about them. Because if we did, then that would confirm the existence of God. You know, if those are angels or demons. You know. So my best guess, what I'm going to go with is I'm thinking that, I guess the thing that I feel the most not sure about, but is the most likely, is that it's part of Satan's plan to cast Christ, and I guess the city of Enoch too, because they're going to come, cast them as aliens, so that maybe we don't trust them as much, at least in the beginning of the millennium. We're not going to be able to do anything about it. No one's going to be able to do anything about it, but on a spiritual level, you can doubt. And maybe that's why at the beginning of the millennium, like what we've studied, people are going to still have all the different religions that they do now, including people that are agnostic. That's one thing, that's one group that I think it was Joseph Fielding Smith, he brought up, that there's still going to be agnostics. And you would think, how is that the case? How could that possibly be when Jesus Christ himself comes to the earth? Well, maybe some of them will be fooled and they'll think that it's an alien that's come. So I feel like that's like maybe the best explanation. Maybe these really are heavenly activities that are taking place, and so it's like a perfect, you know, there's an increase in activity. Well, I don't know that there's necessarily an increase in activity. That's something I don't know. But as heavenly activity is taking place, Satan can point to it and say, hey, look, it's aliens. Aliens, we've been hiding this from you for a long time, and now, you know what, it's going to be revealed. Look at my pasture back here. It's getting overrun quickly by a bunch of weeds, so tomorrow I'm going to mow all this. I mowed another section that was looking like this, but like almost immediately after that, weeds started growing again. And the cows can't keep up with the pasture. So I have to keep mowing, or else if I just let this go, it would turn into what it was the first year that we were here before we had a ride mower, where it was essentially this entire pasture was just a jungle. Like even worse than this, like up like past my head, like higher than me, taller than me, some of these weeds. So I got some work to do tomorrow, but not today. We were just kind of like enjoying today, enjoying the good news that nothing's wrong with Jenica. We got a haircut and just did a couple errands, just took it easy today. But tomorrow, yeah, gonna do some mowing. I'm gonna post this video in the morning, so as you're watching this, if you're watching this right away, I'm probably mowing. I really like him. He's a Samani crossed, an I am Samani. That's the name of the breed. A pure I am Samani is like pure black, but he's crossed with something, but he is just, to me, he's a gorgeous rooster. I love all of our chickens. This is the chicken door that I was talking about. So it's not like a perfect setup, but it's always done the job until that raccoon was able to reach in and grab that pullet. So, and then its body is over there. Made me really upset because I was happy to have a barred rock chicken again. I love barred rocks. Got some more cleanup to do over here. I got this stupid step right here that came loose, and I gotta put that back, and then we gotta kill this thing that's growing. We have more now that we've done that spray on the lawn, on these 2 yards over here, and in this grass driveway. Now we have this other spray that doesn't attach to the hose. That's weed and grass. And we're going to kill like all this right here. And just everything that my ride mower can't get. The idea is to get this whole area just nice and clean looking, just sleek. I don't like all the extra stuff that was here before. That was some ornamental grass. We got to glue that picket that came off, put that back on. That's annoying. Anyway, I hate this tree. I'm thinking about having that cut down because it seems like half of it's dead. Like this side never grows any leaves anymore. And it's just kind of a pain. And it keeps dropping branches. It's just non-stop. It's always dropping branches. Okay. Anyway, sorry. So, I would love to hear your thoughts about it. You know, do you think that there are UAPs or UFOs that are flying around in the first place? Do you believe that are not of human origin? And then beyond that, if you do, what do you think they are? Do you think it's the 10 lost tribes? Do you think it's something that's not even spiritual? It's just simply people from another world that are coming here? What do you think it is? You know, this is kind of another, I feel like this is another sign of the times, just because this is something that for some reason is just like really taking center stage right now as we're getting closer and closer to the second coming, you know. But I would really like to hear your thoughts about it. I'll do some more videos out here at a later time once we have everything fixed up, once we have all those pickets put back on and just all the rest of it. So, all right. Well, that's going to be it for this one. So if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it, leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Also, make sure to share it, and I'll talk to you guys later.